When a company does business in more than one state, a hard question comes up fast. How much of its income does each state actually get to tax? That question is answered by a process called apportionment. In this section, we will cover why apportionment exists, how the traditional formula works, and why most states have moved to a much simpler method that changes the math dramatically. Here is the core issue. If a business has nexus in several states, each state only has the right to tax the portion of income tied to activity inside its own borders, not the company's entire income. Without a rule for splitting that income up, the same dollar could get taxed by state after state, and the combined tax bill could add up to well over 100% of the income involved. Apportionment is the mechanism states use to avoid exactly that outcome. Keep that idea in mind as we walk through the formulas, because every rule that follows is really just a different way of answering the same question. What share of this income belongs to this state? The traditional approach comes from a model law called the Uniform Division of Income for Tax Purposes Act, or UDITPA. It builds the apportionment percentage out of three separate factors: sales, payroll, and property. Each factor compares a company's in-state activity to its total activity everywhere, and the three resulting percentages are simply averaged together to produce the final apportionment percentage. Each of the three factors is built the same way: in-state activity divided by total activity everywhere. The sales factor compares sales to customers in the state against total sales everywhere. The payroll factor compares payroll paid in the state against total payroll everywhere. The property factor compares property located in the state against total property everywhere. Averaging three factors used to be the norm, but that has changed. Most major states have moved to a different approach entirely, one that counts only a single factor. Let's look at why. Under single sales factor apportionment, often shortened to SSF, only the sales factor counts toward the apportionment percentage. Payroll and property are dropped from the calculation entirely. States that use single sales factor include California, Texas, Illinois, New York, Florida, Georgia, and many others, which tells you this is now the mainstream approach rather than an exception. Consider a company with 10% of its sales, 40% of its property, and 50% of its payroll located in State A under the traditional three-factor formula. State A would tax about 33.3% of that company's income, since sales, payroll, and property are averaged together. Under single sales factor, State A only gets to tax 10% of the income, because payroll and property no longer count at all. That example shows exactly why the shift to single sales factor matters so much in practice. A company with heavy in-state facilities but mostly out-of-state customers sees its tax share of income drop sharply, which is a major benefit for manufacturers and service companies with large local operations. The flip side is that remote sellers with a large customer base in the state but little or no physical presence there can end up with a bigger share of income taxed, though those same companies may still have separate nexus questions to work through first. Apportionment exists so that no single dollar of income gets taxed by more than one state at a time. The traditional UDITPA formula averages sales, payroll, and property, while most major states now use single sales factor, which counts sales alone. That single change can cut the tax share of income dramatically for companies with heavy in-state operations but mostly out-of-state sales. Understanding which method a state uses is essential before you can calculate what that state can actually tax.